Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to do a backwards loop cast on in the middle of a project. It's actually used in place of a make one increase because it doesn't pull the strand of yarn up. Like if you look down here with a make one, you'd be pulling up a strand and that strand kind of pulls on the stitch beside it and the other one, and it can distort them. So I've really been preferring the backwards loop cast on increases. They're also called E-loops. Okay, so if I hold the yarn Continental like this to make my backward loop cast on, all I have to do is bring my finger forward and then slide the needle in the stitch from the back to the front, take my finger out, and then pull it tight. And then you have this neat little loop under the needle. You can pull it nice and snug. And it's a good idea to snug it up like that because they get loose as you knit. Alright, and now I'm going to go a few stitches ahead in my pattern here. And I'm going to show you how to make the same backward loop cast on but using your right hand. So if you're holding the yarn in your right hand, then if you think of your hand like a clock, we're going to twist the yarn clockwise to the right. So you just pick up the yarn and you give it a twist like I'm turning a clock, and then once you've got a little loop there, you can slide it on your right needle and pull it tight. And if you look there, you can see, if you look really closely, you can see that the part that crosses in front leans up and to the left. So if you want to do these directionally, the clockwise twist that I just showed you is the left leaning increase. Okay. And then you just keep knitting or purling, as the case may be. Okay. So now I've got, and if you look closely, you can see the increases. They're there, and there's one there. Okay. And now we're going to do it in the other direction. So if you're holding your yarn Continental style, I usually have to let it go and pick it up. And so this is really similar to doing it with your right hand as well. And this time we're going to twist it counterclockwise. So like that, right? Ooh, around like a clock. So twist. And then once you've got a little twist under your stitch, you put it on the needle. Okay, and then if you have a look here, you can see that in this case, the yarn that's in front leans up and to the right. But to do that, to have just one little twist there and have it stay on the needle, you end up with the left part of the loop in front and the right part of the loop behind the needle. Whereas usually a stitch has the right leg in front. When you pull on it, you can see it open up there. See how the right side of the loop is in front of the needle and the left one is behind? So when you make this right leaning backwards loop twist thing, it leans to the right, but it's also it's twisted basically because the right leg is behind it. So it's a twisted stitch, which just means that when you come to it on your next row, you're going to knit or purl it through the back loop so that your knit or purl stitch isn't further twisting the stitch. It'll make it lie flat instead. I'll show you. Okay, and then we're going to do that way again though, but with the right hand. So again, with the right hand, you just grab the yarn and give it a little counterclockwise twist. I find it easier to do it this way. Counterclockwise. And then you put the little loop on your needle and pull it tight. And there it is. Okay, so you can also do this because really all it's doing is taking like the running stitch between the needles, which is this straight one here. It's taking that and creating it as a loop as you're knitting, right? Like, because this here is going to attach to the bottom of the next stitch when I knit it. See, there it is. But if I want to automatically twist it instead of having to pick it up on my next row, I can just lean my finger forward, scoop it from the back, and add it in that way. So I really like this. I like it because it's great in color work. It doesn't distort the color patterns that you're making in your stitches. If you use it in mitten thumbs, it doesn't really distort your increases and decreases there. Okay, so I'm just going to knit to the end here. I've got an I-cord edge, so I'm slipping those last 3 stitches. And then I'm going to go back across the row and show you what it looks like when you knit them. Okay, so I just need to get there. Let's see here. Okay, so these are all feeling normal so far. And then, oh, look, there's a weird one. Okay. So this one, if I put my needle in it, the usual way for knitting from the front to the back, it feels normal and it knits. So that's done. Okay. We're going to keep going. Oh, look, do you see how this one coming up here is different? And if I touch it, it just feels harder to get the needle into it. It's because this one, if you look closely, you can see the right leg is in back of it and the left side is in front, so it's a twisted stitch. We want that one little twist, but we don't want to like knit it here and add a second twist under the stitch. So if we knit it through the back loop, so that just means you're going to put the needle still from like the front to the back, but you go into the back of the loop and you wrap the yarn around to knit, and then you pull it out the front. Then you still get that nice little twist underneath, but it only has one cross, and not two. I'll show you what happens when you do it the other way. Oh, and when you take them out, sometimes they untwist, but that's okay. You can just retwist it and put it back on. Okay, so now it's back on with the right leg behind. So if I knit it in the front leg, in the left leg, I will get it more twisted underneath, because if you want twisted stitches, you have to knit the left legs instead of the right legs when you're knitting standard North American style. Okay, and look, when I do it that way, you can see it's got a double twist under it now. So if you've been getting double twists under some of your backwards loop increases and you don't know why, that's why. It's just because you're giving them an extra twist. If they had their right leg behind, the way to avoid that is to, again, knit it through the back loop. So that's just going straight in to the back. Knit and pull the yarn through. Okay, so keep knitting. Alright, now I'm going to use my right hand. So this one, oh, you can see too, it's kind of funny looking compared to the others, and if you look closely, yeah, it has the right leg behind. So we're going to knit it through the back loop, wrap the yarn around, pull it through, and there you go. Okay, so nothing much changes when you're knitting them, whether you're using your right hand or your left hand to knit. Okay, and then this little stitch here, look, when I twist it like this, you can see it's the right leg in front, because the other one doesn't kind of leap forward and shout hello. So if we knit it like this, and then look, oh yeah, yep, you can see it's got one twist underneath it, so that's exactly what we want. Okay, and then we're almost done. There's the last one. Yeah, and it feels funny when I go to knit it too. Usually they feel really tight and you kind of have to dig your needle into them a bit just to get them started. It's because they're just not really a secure loop anywhere. There we go. And that's what it looks like. So that's how to do the backwards loop cast on in the middle of the fabric as an increase instead of as a sequence of cast ons. They're really versatile and they are great for color work. Again. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.